I'm gonna take you fishing, honey. You're gonna love it. Gonna get up before the sun.
I'm John Kruse. You're listening to Northwestern Outdoors Radio, and we're broadcasting from a very special place. I'm ankle deep in the Stehekin River. It's a small trout stream that flows from North Cascades National Park in Washington State through the Lake Chelan National Recreation Area into beautiful Lake Chelan. And I'm here with John Wilsey. He is the owner of Stehekin Fishing Adventures. He's taken my friend Keith Kellogg and I out fishing today. John, welcome to the show.
Thanks, John. Glad you're here.
Glad I'm here too. We've been having an incredible time with you today. You know, we're halfway through the trip. We've been doing some walk and wade fishing. We've caught a whole bunch of cutthroat trout. As a matter of fact, just prepping for this interview in the last 2 minutes, I've watched my friend Keith hook and land two nice cutthroat just steps away from me. It doesn't get much better than this. I mean, this is September. Beautiful time to fish the Stehekin. Is it always like this?
Usually September is our best dry fly season.
Well, it certainly worked for us today. Again, we've hooked a whole bunch of cutthroat trout. It's been a great day, and what I really enjoy about this is, number one, it's a fairly small stream, and it's clear water, so it's not a rushing stream that's difficult for us to fish this time of year. You can actually sight fish in certain situations, and the dry fly fishing's nice, and it's very user-friendly for people like me and Keith who are not great fly fishermen. And I need to point out, you are a fly fishing guide. And you actually started off our day today with a little bit of instruction, and it paid off. Do most of your clients get the same level of instruction that we get when they start our day?
Yes, if they're not experienced, we include in every trip a basic lesson on casting and how to land fish, and then we keep the lesson going through the day.
And it makes a huge difference. Folks, I've been out with fly fishing guides before, and I've gotten, in some cases, no guidance at all except keep that fly away from my ear. So spending time with you, where you really take the time to individually coach somebody to be a better fisherman and start at the basics, it's great. But you also take out a lot of return customers who really know what they're doing. And in that case, it's more of knowing the river conditions, knowing what they're going to bite on. And I've noticed you've been playing this chess game with the fish today, trying to figure out what they're going to hit next.
Yes, we do have a lot of that. We're in kind of transition as the water's getting colder and the bugs they're hitting are changing. So we have to every day sometimes go out and work through and see what they're taking.
So we have this range again of people who aren't very experienced as fly anglers, like Keith, who's never done it before today, or people like me who've done it some but are not particularly great at it. And in some cases, you've got people who really want to get into this. You actually offer basically a one-day fly fishing school, and you can basically book 2-day packages, don't you?
Yes, we do. We try to customize our trips where people want, and our fly fishing school is designed to teach you just about everything you need to know that the next day you can fish on your own if you want.
Fantastic. And we will tell you more about John's operation in just a couple minutes. But before we do, let's talk about this river. It's lightly pressured, doesn't get a ton of anglers, mainly because it's really hard to get to for most people. So it's not like you can, get off work and drive out here. You can't drive here at all. And we've talked about that in other segments of the show. But the fish here, the cutthroat, the rainbow, nice size fish. We've been catching them basically 11 to 15 inches today. Very respectable, great fighting fish. And they get even bigger, don't they?
Yes, we do get fish up into the mid-20s.
So mid-20s, how common? I mean, what are our chances today, do you think, or what are the chances of any client on any given day of tangling into a 20-inch cut or a 20-inch bow?
I'm real hopeful that we'll get in a couple of big ones today, and it's common to get into 18 to 20-inch fish on a trip. We are catching this year more smaller fish, mostly because they've planted western slope cutthroat and there are more smaller fish in the system. But if we get in the right water, we can get to the big fish.
Fishing today has been a real joy, not just because of the temperature and the river itself, but one of the reasons is that the river is full of another species of fish. They're bright red, they're kokanee, they're landlocked salmon, and they're all spawning, aren't they?
Yes, they are. We're actually almost at the end. Some of the fish are starting to die now.
And that actually brings some other treats. We've seen a couple of eagles. We've seen paw prints from bear. I understand they both are found up and down the river looking for some tasty red kokanee snacks.
That's right. The last 2 days we've seen bears as we come up and down, and our clients have got some great video of bears walking up the stream towards them eating fish.
That is really a cool thing. And no, folks, you don't have to be afraid of the bears. That no concerns there. But the bottom line is this. You're going to have a wonderful day fishing in some unspoiled wilderness here if you come out. And don't be afraid of fly fishing, because John's going to teach you how to do it. You're going to have a great time. You're going to have success, just like Keith and I are having success today. One more thing about the river, and that's the regulations that govern it, because you just can't come out here and throw power bait in here. You can't throw sand shrimp in here. It's a selective regulations river. For our listeners outside of Washington, why don't you explain what that means?
Okay, so a selective gear only means single barbless hooks. We primarily fly fish, but you can use a spinner or spoon as long as it has a single hook. All West Slope cutthroat are catch and release in the river system. The regulation says after July 1st, you can keep 2 rainbows above 15 inches. However, on the guide service, we choose to release all fish because we catch a 21, 22-inch rainbow. We want to put it back in and be able to catch it another day.
Absolutely. I get that completely. So let's talk about the services you offer, John, through Stehekin Fishing Adventures. You offer full-day and half-day services in addition to the fly fishing school?
Yes, that's primarily what we do. Early season, a lot of half-day trips, a lot of beginners. As we progress, our water's fairly high when we start, and as it gets lower and lower, it takes longer to go down. And usually by August, mid-August, we transition to mostly full-day trips and more dry fly. Once we get into mid-August, we start getting the hatches come off, and it's a lot of dry fly fishing with some nymphing mixed in.
So when it comes to the full-day trips, people are going to ask, what about food? There's not a whole lot of places to get food up here.
So we provide lunch with our trips from Stehekin Pastry Company. If you're staying at the ranch, which is a great place, they actually provide a lunch that you can bring with you, and we also provide non-alcoholic beverages.
And we are seen at the ranch, as you've heard during this show, and I can attest that, yes, it's a very fine lunch indeed. It's very filling. You can load up with as much food as you want, and if you're hungry, don't worry. They're going to make you full at dinner. So we've got the logistics down to this, but one other question about that. You know, this is September. The river's low. We've been doing a lot of walk and wade. We're about to hop into your raft, which accommodates not only you, but 2 anglers. When it comes to walk and wade versus raft fishing, is that season-dependent, water-dependent? You know, how do you make the decision? How do the clients make the decision of how you're going to fish this river?
It's really up to the angler how we want to do it. Most people want to do the float because we see water that a lot of other anglers don't, and we're able to get drifts that you really can't get except in the boat. And we're at about our lowest water, and so we've actually started halfway down our normal waters. We just don't have enough water above us to fish.
At least not in the raft. But folks, don't sell the walk and wade short. Again, we've had an excellent time so far. I'm really excited about hopping in the raft as soon as we're done talking through this interview so we can spend some more time fishing and maybe tangle with one of those 20-plus inch cutthroat or rainbow trout that are found in this stream. In addition to all of this, the fly fishing service you offer, you also have a fly shop down at the landing, don't you?
Yes, we do, and it's Stehekin Fishing Adventures Fly Shop, a little over 300 yards up from where the boat comes in, and we offer a wide range of about 90 patterns of flies and most of the fly gear you'd need on a day out.
One last question before we give out the website and let people know how to contact you is some people are going to come here to Stehekin, and they're not even going to be thinking fishing. They're going to be thinking about all the other stuff they're going to do, the hiking, the wildlife watching, the bicycling, the kayaking, but they might stop by the fly shop. They might think, man, I want to go fishing. Is it too late when you get here to book a trip, or can you literally walk into the fly shop and book a trip, or maybe even buy a rod and a reel and some flies and go fishing by yourself?
Most of the time in July, you can come and book a trip, often in August. Mid-September, it's hit and miss whether we're full or we have room, but we take people first come, first serve, or on a reservation basis.
So the bottom line is your best bet is to reserve in advance. That means we need to send folks to your website.
Yes, and our website is StehekinFishingAdventures.com.
That's StehekinFishingAdventures.com. Stehekin spelled Stehekin. That's StehekinFishingAdventures.com. No matter what's your level of experience with a fly rod, trust me, if I can do it, and if Keith can do it, you can do it too. We've had a great day. You're going to have a great day. John is a wonderful guide to spend the day with, and it's a beautiful river to fish. John, thanks for the experience. Let's get in the raft. Let's catch some more trout.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, John.
Rides above us, got a bamboo pole and a leaky boat. It ain't much, but if you bail, it'll float. I'm gonna take you fishing, honey. You're gonna love it.